The Minister of Finance and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, don't talk say federal government go borrow over 11 trillion naira and sell national assets to finance the budget deficit in 2023. This is not the story for today. My name is ADS. Make we run am as see the horse. No time. The Nigerian government don't propose to spend 19.76 trillion naira for the 2023 financial year. This amount is 15.37% higher than the budget in 2022. How they want to take run? Government will be borrowing over 11 trillion naira and also will be selling off national assets to fund the budget. Now, make I ask this question where every reasonable Nigerian suppose ask. Don't we as a nation have the capacity to generate revenue enough where we sort out our yearly budgets and minimize our borrowing? Again, if you get the privilege to check out our budget for this year and the one where government they propose for next year, difference not too there, not just repeated projects and proposals. While they have given enough money for this year, them go still budget for them next year. So what will come happen to the money when they already budgeted for this project? Ask me, why will they do this to ourselves now? Why our budgets don't feel match up with the living standard of our people? Trillions of naira yearly, and they show on the living standard of our people. With all the money where they budget every year, we still don't have steady power supply. No good roads, no productions, refineries are shut down. Education, now no go area. Students there for house because of ASO strike. 6 months now. No proper Medicare or insurance. Jobs no day. People are wallowing in abject poverty. Yet not trillions with a budget every year. Then where are these budgeted money running into trillions they enter? This country, Africa. Now back to the issue of borrowing and selling off our national assets to finance budgets. Shall I say we know they generate enough money for this country to sort out this budget since I've been waiting? I don't understand. This is now one country where God don't bless with mineral resources of all kinds. Some plenty, some no plenty, but we get them for this country. You get any mineral resource we don't get for this country? Do we really lack the capacity to make money from our natural endowments, or we have a problem that nobody can explain because our problem is don't big pass us? Even our crude oil will be the major one, where we get almost 80% the enter voicemail. Who they thief am from us? We no know. Who be these wicked people? We no go allow this country to make sense. Few people just they enjoy waiting everybody gets. Why we did this wicked for this country? Why? As it touch the issue of stealing our crude oil, here waiting the NNPC boss will be Mele Kiari get to talk. Watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues, what is most difficult to manage today, what is much daring for us to live with, is the issue of crude oil theft. It's real. It is happening. Are we helpless? No. We are not helpless, and our efforts are paying off. As we speak now, what you see on the screen is a typical site where crude oil is stolen and is processed in illegal refineries. And probably a selection of you one day, if you want, I will take you so that you can see it in the air, see what it really means. I hope by the time we get there, we have taken them out, because we will not stop so that you can see it. If it is tomorrow, you will still see it because they are still there. What you see here is so common around the pipeline that I can tell you in one line, just less than 200 kilometers, we had 295 illegal connections. And you'll see the data. 295. It's impossible for any oil company to continue to operate. No one produces oil so that the next person will take it.
I don't understand this guy, you. Una no dey helpless. Yet, una no get solution to end the oil thieving. No be today we start to dey hear oil theft o. No be today o. Another one. How can there be 295 illegal connections just on a pipeline running less than 200 kilometers? And owner just dey know about them. 295 illegal connections on just a pipeline, oh, and owner no get the technology to block them. This is a big joke. And then him say stolen crude oil is taken to illegal refineries for processing. So people, they actually refine our crude oil for this country illegally. Hey. What is government doing to use this manpower to our advantage? Since it dey obvious say our legal refineries no dey work. Shebi government no know wetin to do with these people, abi? What you can't do, another person dey run am illegally. So why not mobilize these people so them go dey refine our crude oil instead of taking it outside? Na common sense o. And we dey lose money every day, when we suppose dey count our blessings. The refineries wey dey shut down, people are going to work there every day o and collecting salary. Hear this from the NNPC boss himself. Watch.
And Hassan, you asked a question around why you paying salary on a refinery that is not working. This question has been raised severally in very many fora in the National Assembly. You have two options. When you have a refinery that is not working, typically what you do is called mothballing. Is that you pull them down, bring them into crates, and ask everybody to go. And then you have security men to watch it. Otherwise, the second option you have is to keep them as we are doing. You continue to mothball them. That means that you lubricate the parts that you must lubricate. You test run some of the parts that you have to continue to run. Otherwise, the day you want it, it won't work. So it's the second option we are doing. That we have to keep it. We are not ready to bring them down into pieces. Typically, when you bring them down into crates, you never want to bring them back. But we know that we will bring them back. We know that we're working on them. And that means that you are keeping personnel to continue to do those activities. And more than anything, that the other implication is that you sack everybody that is there so that you can stop the salaries bill. And this also is a matter that has gone to the National Assembly, and the informed position that we have, even by the clear wisdom of the National Assembly, that we can't do this at this point in time.
This guy dey try confuse us on why they pay ghost workers. Which one be greasing and oiling going on in abandoned refineries? Why una go pay people for greasing and oiling when una no even get plans for the refineries? Now so una dey waste our money and una go still go borrow. I go tell una how much these people they pay ghost workers in our abandoned refineries in one of my presentations. Una need understand this corruption where they go on right under our nose. Hear how much of our oil they thief every day. Here.
Well, let us distinguish issues. When you say you are losing 700,000 barrels per day of crude oil, we mean it. This is opportunity lost. There is no company that will produce oil and then you lose 80% of that and continue to produce the oil. So we deliberately shut down the pipelines whenever we see these infractions get into a limit that we cannot control, that are not possible to be managed. So that means as we speak today, we know for sure there is at least 700 lock-ins that we could have produced that we can't do because we cannot guarantee the safety of the pipeline.
700,000 barrels of crude oil stolen every day, and our daily production now 1.2 million barrels per day. more than half of the production dey enter voicemail. No be people like me and you dey thief dis thing o. Na the high and mighty wey dey the corridors of power. Dis na the height of wickedness, yet we dey borrow instead of finding lasting solution to oil thieving. The NNPC boss even promise say by the middle of 2023, say the country go become exporter of premium motor spirit, PMS, wey we dey call fuel. His reason na say NNPC get 20% equity with the Dangote refinery, and say the refinery get the capacity to produce 50 million liters of PMS. That will be more than enough for the country, and then you go still dey enough for the country to export go other countries. Good news. Yeah, as him take talk am. Watch o.
NNPC owns 20% equity in the Dangote refinery. And not only that, and we're very proud of this, we are not only owning 20% equity, we have the first right of refusal to supply crude oil into that plant. By right also, we have access to 20% of the production from that plant. That means that whatever it does, we have a right to take 20% of that production as our part of our equity. And this refinery, if it does come up, and it will come up because we are on the board of that company now, we know what is happening now, that it will come on stream by the mid of next year. This refinery alone, because it has 650,000 per barrel capacity and a different technology, which means that it can crack the crude in a manner that you can have more gasoline than a typical refinery. That means that that refinery has ability to produce up to 50 million liters of PMS. This is very practical. This is possible. As a matter of fact, when we are done with our own refineries and the Dangote refinery, very many other small initiatives that we are doing, small modular condensate refineries that we are building, if that happens, and we are very optimistic it will happen, you will see that this country will now be a net exporter. As a matter of fact, it will be a hub of export of petroleum product, not just to the West African sub-region, but to the rest of the world. This will happen. The flow of supply will change. By middle of next year, it will change.
I pray this one go happen. It go sweet everybody. Nobody go hear good news, no go happy. We will hold him by his words when the time comes. This country, they blessed. Me person no tell you otherwise. We no get any business with borrowing if we do the right things and be truthful to ourselves. Politicians and public office holders, now them be our major problem. Oh. They thief more than they need. How regular them they audit these people? The country don't almost go. We need to get things right this coming election. Make we choose our leader where we protect everybody interest. God willing, we go get them right this time. Enough of the borrowing. Haba. Una never tire. Only a clueless government will borrow money the way this government they borrow money every day. Today 1 trillion, tomorrow 2 trillion, next tomorrow 100. Una know they tire. So become my people, clean up your PVC and get ready for 2023. We go send all these clueless politicians back to their villages. Join me and say enough is enough. I'll see you again. Follow us on all our social media channels showing on your screen right now. Until I see you again, my name is ADS. Signing out.